Darcy Carden in this is so fabulous, and she's so good at playing a closeted Stepford wife kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And there's one line that's just poetry. Shout out to whoever wrote it, where she goes, I'm not bi, I'm a mom. And honestly, it's like, yeah, she doesn't have time to be bi. If you're a mother, you don't have time to be bi. And I get that. And if you know, you know. It just makes sense. I don't know why. It's such good writing.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
Hi, it's Hunter.
And it's Peyton.
And this is Let Me Say This from Higher Ground Audio. We've got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we're getting into it.
5-star weekend.
5-star weekend.
Robert Pattinson.
Always. We don't always find a reason to talk about my man.
My man. And then
opposite.
Before anything else, change this space because we're talking about Drake.
We're talking about Drake and now some cousins of his, a.k.a. a little bit of Usher / Chris Brown.
A little bit of Chris Brown.
Listen, we don't want to be doing this, but it's our job.
A little bit of bird brain behavior, honestly.
Yeah, I'll say it.
Yikes.
So we're going to start off with that, okay? But we'll end on a high, all right? But we're going to start on a low. Rock with us, please. Let's get into some drizzy. Lord Jesus.
Oh, ugh.
So as you know, I was in Toronto.
The 6.
With my woes. Hated that delivery. That was just bad. Keep it in. I happened to be there during what turned out to be a monumental event. The 3rd year in a row, Drake threw his, never heard of this before, of course, Strong Women, Stronger Drinks party. Had you heard of it before?
No. My invite got lost in the mail, I guess.
I was right there. I was right around the corner from that castle he threw it in, which was clinically insane, of course.
Yuck.
It was pretty nice. A castle in Toronto, too. You ain't in Paris. It was just uncouth.
Everything about this is distasteful to me. Everything about it is nasty. Every single thing that he's doing right now is grossing me out.
I saw that he gave away like $100,000 to a couple of women, some who I guess like own businesses. I didn't look into the women. Mm-hmm. I love women taking men's money for sure. Mm-hmm. I'll accept any right now. Mm-hmm. But I do think that the performative element of every single thing he does just leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. Mm-hmm. And mind you, this happened kind of like the same week. We're recording on Monday, but yesterday, Sunday, August 9th.
Holy day.
Holy
Desecrating
day.
A holy day.
Desecrated a holy day, Hunter's birthday and Whitney Houston's birthday. Drake was on, I guess, a live stream with some YouTuber who set up like a 20 women date.
20v1
date for him as a birthday gift or something, or like a return the favor gift, because I guess, I don't know, Drake bought him something before. Men are so gay. And I was just like, so you have to make this make sense to me.
It's never going to. It literally will never make sense.
It was when he asked that goth girl, when he barked for that goth girl, did you see?
First of all, unfortunately, I had the misfortune of seeing Drake bark for his ooh goth girl. That bark was nasty.
No. Like, I believe in men being subs, but it was too breathy. It was like,
no, I'm like, it. That sounds like a damn Yorkie.
It sounds what are the ones that can't breathe?
Oh, like a pug. Like, yeah, something like that. And I'm no disrespect to the pug community.
No, never.
Yorkie community, I don't care. I don't really,
not too much because that's Dodger.
I don't mess with him like that. I don't mess with him, but
damn. You know, an old black woman right now is holding a gun to your head because they don't play about the white Yorkies.
They love their Yorkies. Whitney Houston, she had a Yorkie.
So many. Missy Elliott, Yorkie.
Classic, of
Alicia
course.
Keys, my mother. Yorkie.
Well, Yorkie mix.
Yeah.
He's white passing. Yeah. But no, the Drake bark was so like
filthy.
Can you even do it with your chest?
No,
if you're gonna do it, at least like commit to it.
And he sunk his shoulders too. Sit up straight and bark like a real bitch. Okay. Ooh, that was good. Sit up straight and bark like a real bitch. That's like something someone would say in a Mean Girl movie, I think. Mm-hmm. Starring me, bullying Drake.
Okay, a few things that I want to discuss.
Yeah, get into it.
We have present fathers.
Remember that.
And we also are not trying to sleep with Drake.
Never once.
Disgusting. This whole thing disgusted me. I'm like, the Bible says God loves a cheerful giver. But this was not cheerful giving. It's like a weird power imbalance, like kink for me.
Yeah.
He likes to like make women dependent upon him, or I don't know. It's like he gets off on this weird, I don't know. It's so weird and gross to me. And a few things that I want to talk about. Wife, pipe, bestie, words not in the Bible.
That was crazy.
So the 20v1 culminated in Drake choosing 3 women, and it was like, instead of fuck, marry, kill, it's wife, pipe, bestie. He gave the bestie like $25K, I think. He gave the pipe $25K plus a free trip that he could go with her, but he doesn't have to. And then he gave wife, which was like the girl he barked for.
Oh, she got wife.
Yeah, she got wife. Yeah.
I didn't realize she was...
Because he was like, opposites attract. Like, we're pretty opposite. I'm like, they're all white bitches. I don't know. What are you talking about?
And also, I saw who you dated on Degrassi. That was basically an emo girl anyway. Ashley. Shout out to Ashley, though.
And he was like, you can have anything you want. And she's like, okay. He's like, do you know what it is right now? Any one thing. She's like, yeah, I want you to buy my mom a house. And he was like, okay, sure.
Did he?
I don't know.
Actually,
It just happened.
I weirdly think he would follow through with that. But
I think he would follow through too because he has nothing else to do. It's not like he has to go
So
do
bored.
homework with his son.
And there's a red dot on your forehead again.
Put it there.
Put it there.
Put it there.
But you said, and add a few more, right?
Go ahead.
Give
I
me
don't care.
here too in the heart.
This is corny. This is all so corny.
Absolutely.
And I don't like people acting like it's not corny. This is exactly what Kendrick Lamar told us about. When I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see 2 bad bitches.
And does. Something that has never sat right with my spirit about Drake, because you know I'm a Gracie Abrams fan, and it's hard to be in community with him. He's also a Gracie Abrams fan. And do you remember when
he posted his birthmark?
He posted his birthmark being like, I used to be so embarrassed about this, but Gracie Abrams made me feel comfortable. You're gross. Stay out of young girls' business. That's a child. I didn't like the Millie Bob Brown stuff. I don't like Gracie Abrams. What's up with him and young white girls in particular, too? It's just wrong.
For those who don't know, Drake, this was years ago, Millie Bobby Brown said in an interview before she was super media trained that Drake would text her talking about, I miss you so much. Mind you, he was like 31 or 32. She was maybe 12.
Yeah.
That's weird as hell. That's weird. And it's giving weird like he wants to have like a harem of children.
Right.
That's what it like reminds me of, that he's like a breeder. And that grosses me out too.
I was like, first of all, it's Neo's thing to have a harem of women, actually. That's
And to have too many children is Nick Cannon's thing.
Yes.
So can you come up with something else?
Take off the drag, okay? We know you. But actually, this is a great transition into the Usher and Chris Brown concert. Specifically, I know, do you want to have a moment of silence?
I have loved Usher all of my life.
I know.
But he is a man of a certain age. Loyal to Chris Brown, loyal to Diddy. What are you gonna do?
For what? I know. Superstar, triple platinum in my house, though. I'll be your groupie, baby.
I'm much more in a Caught Up. That's my favorite Usher song.
This is where you are right now. DM me.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
We'll get to it.
What are we going to DM Peyton about right now?
I saw that.
Yeah, but people do be DMing me, and I do be telling them. Okay, back to the point. So the transition is, there was a woman who was brought onto stage at the Usher concert, and essentially, Batty, I will say, rejected him, like leaned away when he was trying to do like this recurring bit that he does where he like bumps and grinds on like a baddie on stage.
Seeing videos from Usher show, you know what it is.
You know exactly what it is. And I kind of like, I missed that a little bit. I mean, the best person to ever bump and grind a fan on stage, Janet Jackson in Hawaii. Usher, you could never.
That's
Usher,
true.
you could, no man could ever. And Janet Jackson, I'm around, just by the way. And I'm available. Okay. I just had to put that out there just in case.
No, bring it into the space.
But she leans away from him and he turns around being like, okay, do you not know what you're getting into? Like, get her off stage.
But the way she leans is like...
But she does. I will say she holds her posture the whole time. She's very like the girl in the club, like be respectful of why you got invited to the section. But she was low-key not respectful of getting invited on stage. And her response, a lot of people got upset being like, I would have fought for that spot.
Yes.
And her response to it on social media, I'm like, do I even read all this? But like, we got the time. First off, nobody is declining to go on stage. I look good as fuck. Just She did, Loki.
This is so crazy.
You thought I wasn't gonna let thousands of people see me on the big screen where you bitches will never be? My mom and I had floor seats. Their team approached us and moved us to VIP before the show even started. Pretty privilege is something you hoes will never know about. Loki Amar. Pretty privilege.
Well, okay, yes.
But the chaser, okay, well, she alleges that she didn't know she was being brought up for that moment in particular. She thought she might be brought up for
Chris Brown.
She's like, I wasn't here for Usher, I was here for Chris Brown. I said, you had me in the first half.
Right.
And then you immediately lost me, diva.
Wait, but say the next part that she said.
Oh, okay. I forgot she said it. Y'all wanted me to get up there and fuck him at that point? Which, like, is tea. She was like...
No. She's like, so what do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? Suck his dick? Like, girl, what? I mean, it was... I'm so half and half there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do see where she's coming from. However, I also see where everyone else is coming from.
Yeah.
I do want to bring to the space that she did an interview for TMZ shortly after this went viral. And she says... That post specifically was directed towards my city, which is the same post you see why I say chat, which is directed to Chattanooga. Because my city, the way she says it is like, my city is a crab in a bucket city. And one of the guys on TMZ is like, nah, don't say that about Chattanooga. He said, no, it's nice there. She's like, no, it's not. That's the truth. They're going ballistic on me. I sent this to my friend Autumn a couple weeks ago. And she was like, she will never be able to go to Walmart again. They will have a red dot on her forehead. Will be looking for her. How do you get...
Sure was one thing. How do you say it? Chattanooga?
Chattanooga.
You know I struggle with words sometimes. Laguzma.
Yeah, she did say that, like, yeah, she grew up listening to Usher's music. I was like, okay, you don't have to say it like that.
Yeah.
She said, I love it since I was a little girl. Okay, but she would have preferred it over Chris Brown. Speaking of Chris Brown fans, Chris Brown listeners are top at doing hair. I don't want to go to anyone to get my hair done who's not a Chris Brown fan.
You would never
they will
believe
get
it.
you right every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Hate to say it. It's true.
I had told Hunter I walked into a hair salon before I was getting a silk press, Chris Brown bump, and I said, I'm coming out here laid. My shit's about to be bouncy and full, and was.
I don't know what it is.
It's like,
you know, there's a certain like manicure music and there's hairstyle music, and if she's listening to Chris Brown, she's gonna get you right. She's gonna really do her thing.
If she's just a little homophobic, oh girl, you're gonna be looking good. You're gonna be looking so good. Oh my God.
Well, speaking of Chris Brown fans,
yeah.
New York Post published August 8th, hundreds of concert goers trapped on New York City bound train without electricity, air conditioning for hours. One of them said it was hell. So originally I'm like, that's not right. Not Imam Dondi's New York. This is Eric Adams rearing his ugly head like the villain that he is. Then I see around 700 people, many of them returning to New York City from a Chris Brown concert in New Jersey. That's just a preview of what they're going to get.
Down below, down in the gutter.
They're just microdosing hell. So, no, that's not my business.
Yeah.
But I will DM for appointments. I know that.
You're like, if I go to you for any appointments, this does not include you. You're safe with me.
Yes,
totally.
My sisters. If I'm DMing you for an appointment, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, all the others though. I mean, okay, well, quick transition to Usher fans who are demanding their money back after what they believe to be, and I believe women, even the problematic ones, but they believe that Usher brought out like a lookalike to perform a few songs, which included Love in This Club.
That's my favorite song of his.
Me too, which I was like, that's crazy of you to send out an impersonator. And I was looking at the footage and
it looks
fake.
Yeah.
It does not look like him. But only for a couple songs, but you just need to catch his breath?
I think so.
Yeah,
God forbid a man, takes a little break, takes a little power nap. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Unfortunately hilarious.
That's part of the charm of Usher to me. That's part of the charm. Just like he was out of breath during his Super Bowl show. I love it. What am I gonna say? I love it.
It was one thing, the beard was one thing where I was like, that can't be you. The hat, the like snapback all tilted crazy up though. I was like, okay, well, sir.
No, it's really
we had to get a little serious at some point.
Right. What I ordered versus what I got.
Come on now.
It's not entirely legit.
Are men okay? The question for the audience. Question for the culture.
Are men okay? No, because they're watching Drake on a live stream talking about it's better to give a woman a bag than it is to like buy a watch for yourself because you get
Insane.
to have that satisfaction. I'm like, no, that's weird. That's weird. If you want to give me something just so you can like feel better about yourself,
I'll take it, low key.
I won't.
She won't, but pass it to me and I'll be like, I don't like this.
Strict.
Me
What
going
can I
through the
say?
bag that was gifted with all that cash. I do not like this. I'm out of here.
Let's
Funny.
get to safer shores.
Let's take a load off. Let's unhook those bras and get comfortable, you and I.
Have you ever been to Nantucket?
No, but I'm trying to go now.
Exactly, right? I've been watching 5 Star Weekend because you
Yes.
told me to.
Thank you.
It is kind of a sleigh.
I know, right?
I'm like really having a good time there.
It's like the epitome of a show that you put on to like that meme to clean your apartment and then you just kind of stop and then you're sitting and I'm taken with it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be like a tampon commercial. I was like, when I saw those women sitting on a beach, all multiracial, I got a little worried. But it is just fabulous.
Everyone has a secret. I like that it's a show where people have secrets, but it's not like a murder show. Like there's not a Big Little Lies sort of dead body, but it scratches that same itch for me because women's stories matter. They just matter. However, I like Timothy Oliphant in this. I'm like, Loki, you guys should be bumping purses.
Is that the hot guy?
Knocking boots. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, quick show description. If you haven't watched, here's a little, pitch. Hollis Shaw, a famed cook and best-selling author known for her delicious recipes, impeccable taste, and warm demeanor, suffers a devastating loss when her husband dies. In an effort to overcome grief and find herself again, Hollis gets the idea to host a weekend away at her house on Nantucket with 3 friends from different stages in her life, her childhood, her 20s, her 30s, and a mysterious follower she's bonded with online.
Starring Jennifer Garner, Timothy Oliphant, Chloe Sevigny, Gemma Chan, Regina Hall, Judy Greer, Harlow Jane, Darcy Carden, and David Denman, i.e. Roy from The Office.
Yes, which I
Bald.
can't see him as anything else.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah. But like
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah.
The
I can see
Office
that.
too.
I can see
by the way.
Well, Was
You
it
know my problematic
8-year
take.
engagement? Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Yeah.
Maybe you do
like
need
to
a Birkin
yearn.
from Drake. Oh, Lord.
Oh, stop.
Oh, Lord.
I do love a Judy Greer, Jennifer Garner reunion, of
Oh,
course.
of course. Of course. And I love that Judy Greer is like the mean girl in this.
She's always kind of the mean girl.
I know, but this, I'm like, maybe it's because I've only heard that she's so lovely in real life.
I can imagine.
That it's just so funny to me that she's like really the meanest girl on this whole island.
I love her. If she has no fans, I'm dead. Judy Greer.
If she has no
Judy
fans,
Greer
Jennifer
stands.
Garner is dead.
That's true.
That
we
is
all
true.
dead.
They don't
We go
play
out
by each
together.
other. Yeah.
Suicide pact. Okay.
I want to talk about episode 2 when they do a walking tour. Because you know what it reminded me of?
Okay.
When someone got a little bit too much dip on her chip and booked an indigenous walking tour of the French Quarter and almost passed out. And I'm not going to say who that was.
But it wasn't
no,
me.
It was an ally who had a big heart and wanted to expand her horizons and show up for her LGBTQIA plus friends. Did the woman who led the tour smoke a spliff moments before the tour started?
Yes, of course.
Did I hold that against her? No. Were we in the same spot in full sunlight for about an hour? Did I have to sit down because I was about to pass out?
On the ground.
And I've never sat.
Can you imagine this one on the ground, on the dirt?
My
and of
purse
course I
was
took a
on the
photo.
ground. That's how crazy it was. I thought I was going to die.
It was. And I just know if the tables were turned. If it was me who was like, Hunter, come to this walking tour, this like queer-led walking tour, blah, blah, blah. She... attitude holds. Yes.
No.
There's this hilarious video, DM me, I'll send it to you, of Hunter walking on the tour, all hunched over, all Karen Harper. She's like someone's
at some
auntie.
point, it was a mutiny. I said, I need to get some water now.
It was crazy.
I need to go into this bodega and get water right this moment.
The minute you notice I was swimming, though, you're like, hey. I was like, girl, I got your ass. So there is a queer walking tour, just in case that's something that interests you. There is a queer walking tour feature in the show. I also have to call out, something is so harrowing about seeing Chloe Sevigny with a phone wallet case. That I should not be seeing that on my screen.
She's so normie in this, and it's hilarious to me.
But I actually love it. I think she's fantastic in this show.
Yeah.
And I like her doing mainstream stuff. And I think there's a little bit of one, maybe just like, sure, get a check. But 2, this maybe cultural reversion to what a cool girl looks and feels like or what they do. Do you know what I mean? I might be stretching this a little bit, But I think this like fictitious idea of coolness being apathy is like we're moving away from that a little bit. And I kind of like her, like the ultimate, I don't know if it's fair to call her apathetic, but you know, very like smoke a cigarette, like hates LA, like that whole vibe.
Yeah.
Doing this show feels really cool for her. Does that make sense? Do you kind of get what I'm touching up?
It is kind of like the opposite of what you would think she would go for.
Yeah.
And even playing this character too, the character who is like the hometown bestie who's like very local, very like towny. I think is like a funny sort of place to see her show up in this show. And in that same way, sort of I like Regina Hall as like the hyper serious, like bitchy, like college best friend. And that dynamic between like childhood best friend and college best friend is such a funny like, oh yeah, these are two parts of yourself who are engaging, and of course they're jealous of one another. Of course they both feel like day ones in different ways. So that I really liked. I don't know why, but the title 5-Star Weekend, like I don't like it at all. Although I'm not done with the show yet. But the idea of, you know me, I love bringing different friends together, and I'm stressed every single time. Yeah, like I'm always like, wait, okay, now listen, she's a little bit crazy, and she's a little bit strict. But we're all gonna get together. We're all gonna have a good time.
I promise by the end of it, it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, you'll all see why you like each other, I promise. Pinky swear.
I'm like totally the opposite. I'm like, throw him in the ring. Let's see what happens. Let's see who comes out alive. Yeah. Like, it was a meeting of the minds when Hunter Yvonne Harris met Evan Nicole Brown.
Oh, now
that's a woman's work.
I also remember, I don't know if you remember this, but you had... Or maybe Michael tweeted before I'd ever met Michael. You tweeted before I ever met Michael QB. You guys are both alike in that you're huge bitches and mean.
Wait, both? Or it was like really smart. It was like something complimentary and then something kind of so nasty. And it worked.
Yeah, and look, he just texted me.
I'm a matchmaker.
We're always fussing. He said, why do we always have beef? I'm like, you tell me.
Yeah. And then it'd be like, you guys just walked into the space. It makes no sense. What do you think about Gemma Chan's character? The spoiler.
Yeah.
She is like the friend that Jennifer Garner's character meets online, who we find out was actually sleeping with her husband.
The dead husband.
Dead husband was having an affair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we find that out pretty early in the show or in the series. I love Gemma Chan. I am a bit, I don't know, I don't really see where it's going yet because I'm still early in the season and she just had that conversation with Darcy when they're in the steam
sauna
room. Yeah. And I'm kind of like, okay, so what exactly are you doing here? And also, like Gemma Chan and Jennifer Garner have like bonded over grief in the show. And it's a bit like, well, you're both grieving the same dick, low-key. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Little do you know. Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see where that goes. But I like the conceit as like a sneaky kind of mysterious friend. And
Me too.
I also like how everyone kind of brings it back to the Hollis character being this sort of like Martha Stewart figure, wants to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, but what's like with your actual life? Like you're taking all these photos, like you're putting on this show that you are such like a good hostess, whatever. But like we really don't know that much about what you're going through.
Yeah.
That's a really nice tension, I think.
I think so too. And I was going to say, I find this show to be actually like a really thoughtful meditation on grief and how it manifests so differently in so many people. And I think that's what really tethers Gemma's character and Jennifer Garner's character together is that their grief kind of looks absurd in some ways. And I think for Jennifer Garner's character, one, I love her hyperfixation on being like a digital superstar at her age, right? I feel like you think about being famous online as something to be in like your millennial Gen Z experience. But I love that it's something that she's really struggling and grappling with and that you get to watch her kind of do the same things that we all do, which is like sometimes overinvest in our digital communities instead of doing the harder thing, which is being present with your real friends and your real feelings. And I think that they do that really well when you watch her kind of scroll through the comments when she's like having I don't know if you got there yet, but she's like has a breakdown and is like scrolling through the comments and they're all obviously like affirmations and she's just like feeding into it and liking it. And it's so obvious that it's easier for her to be there than be like on this trip with her best friends that actually know her.
I really like that. I can't wait to get to that point. Yeah. But also something that has just struck me now is that what this show does really well that other shows do not do so well is like make the online world feel like a little bit more real and grounded in a certain way. Because a lot of shows are like, okay, I promise you she's like an influencer or she's like, you know, being canceled or whatever.
Yeah.
And it doesn't ever feel like substantial. And on this show, you do kind of get the sense that what's happening to her online and how that affects her in real life and vice versa.
Yeah.
With her like just performing for like social, which is interesting.
There was a moment that reminded me of the story you told last week about like having a breakdown at the airport and someone being like, I love the pod. There's like a moment where like, first of all, she's just grieving her dead husband and she's at a bar and these women like run up to her and are just like clearly like a bit parasocial with her. And one of them, even though it seems really sad and serious, was like, I got through like a death of her own experience by watching your videos. And you can see her face like have real empathy, but also be like, that's really intense for like me to take on.
Yeah.
And that happens so much. Like it was just interesting to me. I don't know. I liked that moment.
Yeah, I do kind of like the way that the women, like their friends react to the fan being there. And how they really are like all kind of mean to her at first. And then...
Oh, wait, Judy Greer's character?
No, I was talking about Gemma Chan's character.
Oh, Gemma Chan's character, yeah.
Because she is like the like fan from the internet and how all of them kind of circle the wagons like, well...
What do you want? This ain't Drake. She ain't gonna give you a bag of cash, okay? She don't move like that.
She'll give you like some raspberries that are safe to eat.
And a custom journal, like fab. I just have to say, I love Darcy Carden in this very clearly closeted queer role. She's just so good. If you watch, oh my God, what was the show? The
Good Place? League of Their Own.
The League of Their Own. The League of Their Own show, gone too soon. It was so good. And what's her name was also in it too. The one that played the walking tour guide. And they have a little...
really?
Yeah. She gonna be in something gay. Something gay, she in there. Let me tell you that. I love her. Forgot her name, but I love her. Super hot. But Darcy Carden in this is so fabulous. And she's so good at playing a closeted Stepford wife kind of thing. And there's one line that's just poetry. Shout out to whoever wrote it. Where she goes, I'm not bi, I'm a mom. And honestly, it's like, yeah, she doesn't have time to be bi. If you're a mother, you don't have time to be bi. And I get that. And if you know, you know. It just makes sense. I don't know why. It's such good writing. But I'm not done with the season yet. But I think like I'm really excited with where it's going.
Yeah. And
shout
I
out
like
to the gay guy that recommended it to me.
Always.
It's always a gay guy that recommends something to us.
They watch everything, girl.
They got different hours in the day.
I don't know how they do it. Yeah.
Them and Beyonce, they work on different timelines, I swear. Hi guys, it's Peyton.
And Hunter.
And you, the listener, are here with us right now. And we, sometimes, when we're feeling brave, we get a little vulnerable on this podcast. Wouldn't you say?
I would agree.
And it's not always easy.
In fact, it's quite difficult.
But we're working on that. Okay, question for you. And I want you to be honest.
I always am.
This is true, actually. Too honest sometimes. But what would it mean if you said how you felt out loud?
I feel like this is a gotcha. Trying to get me in trouble today.
Oh, no, that was yesterday.
Well, I'm scared to say how I feel. You know what I mean? For a long time. It takes a lot to... I'm a tough nut to crack, you could say. It takes a lot to get the opinion, the emotion out of me.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that, you know, it comes easier to some people and it's harder for others, but I think everyone should be in practice of trying to say how they really feel. I think it's really easy to make your feelings small or not want to disrupt a crush. You know, if you want to keep the good vibes going, it's a risk to say, maybe I want this or need this or I like this or I like you. It's kind of a nightmare often, but when the risk turns into reward, it's sickening. I'll tell you that. I think it's just a good practice in dating and talking to your family and talking to your friends to take that risk and dare to say how you really feel.
I think that's true. But in dating specifically, I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm always performing cool, nonchalant person. And you know me.
Yeah.
You know I am stressed a lot of the time.
Internally shaking.
And it makes me nervous to tell someone to ask for what I want.
Yeah.
And also to be open about how I'm feeling.
Yeah. You know what? You actually gave me great advice one time where I often get jealous of a type of girl who looks really effortless and, you know, doesn't try hard. She's quieter normally. And I got a mouth on me. And Hunter was like, no, you can buy nonchalant at the 99-cent store, I think is literally the quote that you said to me. So I'm going to be chalant. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be chalant. I'm going to be brave. And I'm going to say how I feel and be who I am.
I love that for you.
In general, daring to say the thing has changed my life, even my dating life, radically.
No, I completely feel you. It's a big reframe to think of transparency and openness as something to run towards and not run away from. And that's actually what Hinge's new project is all about.
Oh, wait, the No Ordinary Love audiobook, right? You wrote the foreword for it.
I did. Yes, that's me. This is my second year working with Hinge on the No Ordinary Love project. And it's really fun talking to people and reading real life romances that started on the same Hinge that we're on, at least that I'm on. But the whole project is really a love letter to the brave, the awkward, the clunky, basically, how hard it is to put yourself out there, but the reward waiting on the other side of that risk.
Yeah. Well, okay, really quickly, for the people at home, can you just explain what No Ordinary Love actually is?
Hinge's No Ordinary Love audiobook is about 5 real couples who took a risk. All the couples in these stories actually met on Hinge, and their stories are written by 5 incredible writers. I'm talking about our friend Tammy Denton-Hurst, Ruthie Thorpe, Nicola Dinan, Curtis Garner, and Raven Smith.
That's a stacked lineup, I'll tell you that.
So the writers are paired with these couples, and they cover everything from the overthinking, the misreads, and the unspoken harmony that happens when you tell someone the truth.
Ooh, that's so juicy. And you know I love a love story, girl.
I know you do, girl. And the best part is that these stories end with these cute epilogues where the couple gets to read the story and respond to it.
That is such a nice bookend to that love story. Wait, where can people tune in to listen to it, though?
You can listen to all of the stories free on Spotify. Go search Hinge Presents No Ordinary Love. And let me tell you, it's the perfect thing to listen to, a reminder that love is not perfect, it's honest.
And I've always said that. If you are a lover girl, lover boy, lover person, big-hearted baddie, I'm going to need you to tune in and maybe even take a page from these couples and say the thing out loud. It might just be the start of your own No Ordinary Love story.
You know that feeling when all of your friends are getting married and it's so great, except for every weekend of your summer, booked?
You could spend hundreds of dollars on guest looks if you want to do that, sure. Or you can go to Nuuly and rent for $98.
Nuuly is a subscription clothing rental service that lets you pick 6 styles every month. For just $98 a month, you get your choice of any 6 styles.
Rent for whatever you have going on. You'll get access to thousands of styles from hundreds of brands.
Nuuly carries labels like Reformation, Mother, Hill House, and more.
And let's not forget that Nuuly has inclusive sizing, fast free shipping and returns, professional dry cleaning and laundry, and the option to buy what you love at a really great discount.
The great thing about Nuuly is that you can wear more while spending less. There's no more of that panic buying, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear next week feeling.
Nuuly helps you have fun and explore and get creative with your closet. Free your mind and your closet and your wallet from impulse buys. Skip that whole nothing to wear spiral by renting instead.
There are no late fees, damage fees, or fees to pause or cancel. So no big deal if you lose a button, spill something, or just want to take a break.
Nuuly is a great value at $98 a month for any 6 styles. But right now, you can get $28 off your first month when you sign up with the code LEMME.
Just go to NUULY.com and enter the code LEMME to get $28 off your first month.
That's NUULY.com, Nuuly with 2 U's, and code LEMME for $28 off your first month at Nuuly subscription clothing rental. We're renters here, and I don't know about you, Hunter, but I hate paying rent.
Who likes paying rent? I mean, it's our biggest monthly expense, and yet there's no points, no perks, no nothing.
Well, that's why I've been checking out Built, right?
Built lets you earn points on every housing payment, rent, or mortgage, no matter where you live. You can redeem those points on everything from flights, Lyft rides, even future housing payments.
Personally, I'd use mine towards a trip, and maybe even a girl's trip if Hunter X right. But the part that really got us is a neighborhood concierge in the Built app. It's like having an agent in your phone. It doesn't just give info, it executes.
It's connected to your home and over 50,000 merchants, so you can use it to book a fitness class, schedule a lift, even make a dinner reservation. The neighborhood concierge handles it all while applying your benefits automatically.
So here's a move. You're going to download the Built app, you're going to link any credit or debit card, and you're going to ask the concierge about things in your neighborhood.
And if you're a homeowner, brag, Built works for mortgages too. You're already paying it, so why not earn something back?
Download the Built app and join the membership for where you live at joinbuilt.com/Lemme.
That's JOINBILT.com/Lemme. Use our link so they know we sent you. I want to bring something to the space
Okay.
that crossed my desk multiple times. Stop sending it to me. I've seen it. Someone tweeted, "It's a shame that Robert Pattinson is white because he's the only one who could properly play Diddy in a Biggie biopic." Notice how I said biopic and not biopic because people still do that.
Compromise.
Epitome.
There are words that are being said.
So that's really like thinking outside of the box.
For certain.
That's like get you to Mackenzie. Like you should be a consultant. You're doing things that like people have never done before.
And I ultimately have to agree.
Oh, I see it absolutely. I see it
So
absolutely.
that's a character actor, like of course. Like,
Especially
obviously.
Diddy in that video when he played the Joker for Halloween. He like did the Joker costume.
I hate that video.
No, I know, but like Robert Pattinson would Wookie
Yeah.
eat that up.
Yeah.
He'd be so good.
We've had Robert Pattinson on the brain lately because he's a working woman. He gets booked and he is busy.
He stays on a set.
I know. He keep a check just like J-Lo.
And there is a lot between them, I think. There's a lot of
something.
commonalities.
I think they would get along, actually. I really do.
Yeah.
But I do have to hear about your viewing of the movie Remember Me. Remember it?
So something happened to me where I said I might mess around and watch the Robert Pattinson 9/11 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. Mm-hmm. And I was shocked. I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
Basically in this movie, Robert Pattinson is in his early 20s, falls for this, first he gets assaulted by a police officer.
ACAB.
Right. And then it's like that weird, late 90s, early 2000s, like rom-com thing, teen rom-com, where it's like, okay, I'm going to find this girl, get her to fall in love with me, and then dump her to like prove it to someone. And that's what he tries to do with the cop's daughter. But then they fall in love.
Oh.
And then she kind of helps him heal his daddy issues with Pierce Brosnan, who's like from like the Bronx for some reason.
The craziest accent.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And then he has a little sister. Do you remember this part? He has a little sister. And he's very close to his little sister. And then she goes to a sleepover. At the sleepover,
I haven't seen this movie in so long.
they bully her and they give her literally, we can call it like the Hillary Clinton. Like they give her a crazy haircut on a child.
They give her B.O.B. so they call me Bob. For sure.
And with her little glasses, I'm like, so that's an accountant. That's a working woman. So hold on. Now, she knows about a Roth IRA.
Wear her briefcase.
She knows about a high yield savings account.
Oh my God. I trust her.
And literally, Robert Pattinson is like, how dare they do that to my sister? Goes to take the sister to school.
Yes, I forgot.
The one girl like kind of teases her. He knocks over a desk, gets arrested again. This time his dad is like proud of him though for like standing up for his daughter. Mind you, the dad hasn't seen the daughter in like weeks. He doesn't care about the daughter at all, which is crazy. And then he goes to the dad's office and I'm like, when are we going to find out what day it is? Like, when are we going to find out? And we cut to the daughter at school and the teacher's written on the board, September 11th, 2001.
What was the reason?
What was the reason? Telling you, I was in shock.
And Robert Pattinson's looking out the window.
Literally, and the camera pans out, and you're like, oh my God, he's like in the North Tower. And I knew that this was a Robert Pattinson 9/11 movie, of course, but I didn't know what was going to. So it was even more horrible than if I, hadn't known.
Yeah.
Because I just kept waiting for like, when are we going to find out? When are we going to find out?
It also is so funny that this all happens right after they've like repaired their family dynamics and like worked through all their trauma, and then they die. And it reminds me, and it probably influenced a story I wrote in the 7th grade for creative writing with Miss Tanu. Hunter's already stressed out. Where I wrote about this girl that finally goes. It's like this woman that's worked a really hard life. She's never got to leave
this
her.
already. Let me tell you, this offends me already. Okay.
My pen went crazy in 8th grade. Literally, this one girl, Shessa. I won't say her last name just in case because she probably still doesn't like me. Her name was Shessa. She had a hot brother. She was a bitch, and she was like, I hated this story. And it was about, she really came for my ass.
Je suis Shessa.
Yeah. Shessa's in the room with us right now. We didn't meet in college. We met. But basically, she like finally goes, like she works her whole life.
Your character does this.
She works her whole life to finally be able to afford a trip to New York. And then she goes to New York and she visits. You can imagine what happens next.
I can't and I don't want to. But what this does remind me of is Club Chalamet's 9/11 lore. People forget.
And of course, you remember. The North always does. What happened? What?
Girl, this was like the first big Club Chalamet viral post. One of them was when it was 9/11, and she was like, Day of Remembrance. And she said, in summer of 2001, I went for a job interview, and it was a job that offered me more money and more benefits and a better title and a better position. But I got a weird feeling, and I turned it down. And she said, and then look what happened. No, swear to God, she was like, and then look what happened.
Look what happened.
In the sense that it's crazy to center yourself on 9/11, and then also to be like, and I had a funny feeling, and you didn't tell anyone? It was bizarre.
She should have been like Raven Simone. She would have let the people know, and she would have saved lives. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that how her age got revealed?
No, that was the first. That was one of the first data points that she was not even in her 40s. Yeah.
Holy shit.
But Robert Pattinson has been on quite a run.
Yes,
Can I take it there?
Yeah.
So he had Mickey 17 and Die My Love in 2025, The Drama and the Odyssey in 2026, and now he has Dune Part 3 and Primetime, and then The Batman Part 2 in 2028.
Quick question. Was To Catch a Predator...
My tea growing up? Absolutely. What? Of course it was. I'm strict.
Watching TV like, yeah, I knew it. Pervert.
Pervert. That reminds me of that one live stream. Never mind. Anyway, no, I loved To Catch a Predator growing up. I loved all of those shows. Like the other kind of undercover boss show. Yeah. I thought it was really fascinating. I have to say, shout out Lance Oppenheim, the director of Primetime. He also did it's a documentary called Some Kind of Heaven that's about a retirement community in Florida that's so good.
Oh.
Anyway, Lance was the director.
Was Chris Hansen fine?
No.
I don't really remember.
I don't remember. He was like suburban dad. That's the only thing about Robert Pattinson that I think holds him back as an actor, is that he's simply too beautiful. And that was my issue with Die My Love. I was like, that jawline is not in some fucking country bumpkin pickup truck.
Jennifer Lawrence too.
No, of course. But she looks American, though. He doesn't look like he came from Coweta, Oklahoma, as someone who's been to Coweta, Oklahoma.
I don't know. I don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah.
Well, I never watched. I'm excited to watch this movie. There's already fan cams for it, which is crazy. Of Primetime. I love it. I was like, you have a trailer. Teens work. And Club
Robert Pattinson fans, they also work. I feel like I'm
Pat's pilled.
Yeah, I was
Patty Cakes. I don't know.
Oh, Patty Cakes is cute.
Not bad,
Patty Cakes
actually,
is
low
cute.
key.
I like that.
Drake, that's how it's done.
Oh God.
Well, obviously, I've been a Robert Pattinson truther.
Should we go to top 3 Robert Pattinson moments?
Yeah, of course. The natural transition, of course. Let's do it.
Give them to me. Let's hear them. You see how I wake up when we're not talking about Drake anymore? My shoulders can drop.
Let me put my bra back on.
I don't have to clutch my purse so tight. Like,
we're safe finally.
Yes.
Okay, top 3 Robert Pattinson moments. Him on Jimmy Kimmel, one of the Jimmys, talking about the eroticism of being spit on. Mind you, this was around 2017 when he was still dating FKA Twigs.
Okay.
This is what stays in my brain, by the way. And I will never forget when someone tweeted, FKA Twigs a bottom, and she replied, no, I'm not. And then that interview came out, and I was like, oh, they nasty in there. I volunteered tribute to find out. I was like, oh my God, they was fucking for real. Oh, I miss them. I mean, all love to Suke and their baby, but that was a big moment for me. I love their love. Okay. Second moment was when in 2017, he went on Reddit and started answering fans' questions, and Loki gave like everyone the ick, similar to how he had a stalker for a bit. And who knows if this is the truth or a lie, because he lies all the time, which I love about him.
Yeah.
He's the last real improver we have, by the way, where he apparently had a stalker and finally was just so bored when he was shooting a movie that he finally just went to dinner with her and complained the whole time. And she was like, I'm off this. And, like,
I don't believe that
him.
For a second.
I believe it.
Okay.
I believe women and Robert Pattinson. That's it. And the last one is honestly just out of envy, which is when he bit Tyra's neck on the Tyra show. Prison for that. They want to lock her up for ANTM? No, prison for the Tyra Banks show.
No, people forgot when she like changed her race on that show. Like people forgot how crazy that show was.
Fiance.
Fiance.
Out of her mind. But when he bit her neck with his full chest and his full fangs, that was crazy. Left a mark. Ooh. I was so jealous. I was like 13 and like ripping my hair out with envy. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
What are your top 3 Robert Pattinson moments?
Honestly, that is a perfect transition because I want to talk about Robert Pattinson on the cover of GQ in April 2009.
Yeah. Yeah?
Heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Heard of it? That's the kind of image that I shaved my entire body for when I was 10. Like, it went crazy to me. I was like, this is a beautiful man. The hair, all of it. I loved it.
I was going to ask, were you always like, Robert Pattinson, so sexy, so fine?
Yes, but I wasn't a Twilight girl because I was cosplaying a grown-up.
But you're the worst. You're the worst.
I know.
Oh my God. No, but in Harry Potter, did you think he was hot in that?
Yeah.
I did not. I was like, Cedric Diggory better be sexy as fuck, and I thought he was kind of mid in that.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't like paying attention. But then later I went back and rewatched Harry Potter, Order of the Phoenix. No, Goblet of Fire to see him. Yeah. Then I want to talk about, second moment, Suki Waterhouse when she prank called him for some magazine. Yes, and she was like, so darling, good. I think it's going to be quite fine, actually. We can, they want us to do this show like Love is Blind. And he was like, are you mad? I love someone who's British AF. He said, darling, are you mad? I loved it. It's like, I love that he's secretly a freak, but also like posh as hell.
But
like,
he also almost entertained it too. He was like, I mean, okay. Like he was like really, that's how he loves that woman. He's like, I guess we could try and figure it out, but it's crazy.
I'm going to say top 3 moments, 2A was when Suki Waterhouse was announced as pregnant. And I texted you, okay, so we're going to have a workout joint custody. So that's my man. I don't play about him. Which leads me to my 3rd favorite moment, which was at TIFF in 2019 when he was really looking at me across the room.
Yeah. What happened?
I hit him with a little.
All right, well, you let me know how that goes.
Well, it was one of our
Good
many
luck
run-ins.
booking that man you speak of.
I'm not that far from FKA Twigs, okay? I'm about half a gum down.
Hunter. FKA? She be playing with those knives and bending about, and you think you a stone's throw away?
Girl,
don't just because you light skin.
It's not because of that.
Y'all are. I would pay Drake dollars to get you and FKA in a room and see what happens. You would be so annoyed. You'd be like, let me out.
No, I absolutely. But I could bully her in a second. What are you talking about? That video where she was crying, talking about kids used to bully her and call her wash and go. Now, come on. That's not a serious person.
She's been through a lot.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Wait, low-key. Well, literally, she has. But also, today I saw, and I said, open the schools. Someone was like, can't believe you guys are standing this abuser talking about Robert Pattinson and cited his relationship with FKA Twigs and linked to an article that very clearly says...
Shia LaBeouf.
Well, first it was Shia LaBeouf, who obviously was her abuser. After that was like Robert Pattinson's racist fans, like that was a big part of their relationship falling apart. It was like, no. So click the link. I was like, it's not Robert Pattinson was racist to his girlfriend, fiance at a point. I need us to turn it on a little bit. And then you want to throw out abuser on a person. It was actually clinically insane.
Yeah.
I hate the internet.
That's really sad. That sucks.
But fuck
She
Shia
doesn't
LaBeouf.
deserve that. Oh, well, absolutely.
Obviously.
Forever. Ugh.
Anyway, I got protective of my man. I would never jump another woman like this, but I was like, don't speak about him like that. But the Twilight fans are crazy for that. That's for sure.
Lord have mercy. These men, once let the men get a hold of this clip.
But the best...
Okay, now you piss me off. Oh my, okay, go ahead, tell him, Ray. Okay, haha. Beat it.
Her birthday over. Oh hell. One of the best, I mean, he lies a lot. Robert Pattinson loves to lie.
Just like every other man, but yeah.
But he does it in a fun way.
Yeah, he's the only fun lying man.
That's true.
Every other one
true. Is Drake.
Lying man for lies.
When he said that his dad was Michael Jackson in middle school and he got in trouble, I thought that was fucking hysterical.
I would have believed it. They're the same complexion.
No.
You know they want to say it, but it's the truth.
So I thought that was funny. I thought Hunter might think so too. A pretty good accent, actually. Robert?
On my birthday post, someone commented, MJ, ... Lily, I saw it.
Look put their handle in right here. Insert it right here, producers. We're coming for you. We're sending the lemmies on you. I don't know. Is that what we're called? I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, what about the lemons? Lemons?
We'll workshop that.
Yeah, we'll
Let
get
us
back
know.
to you.
Our friend Hunter Yvonne Harris, government, was born. And I love to give a gift, one thing about me. And sometimes it's a joke gift, but this time it's a real gift.
My heart is racing. No, I'm so nervous.
His foot is like shaking. So we are going to watch in real time Hunter receive her birthday gift. Go ahead and press play whenever you're ready.
Hunter, what's going on? It is Kyle, and on behalf of the Wise Gals, I want to wish you a happy 32nd birthday from one Leo to another. Now, I've already turned 44. I understand you're turning 32 this lovely August 9th. And yes, your besties absolutely adore you. And they tell me that you're also one of my biggest fans. So thank you. Think of this as a birthday pep talk because, well, summer should be...
I can't take any more. I can't take
so
on
long.
anymore.
He sent it in late, so I think he felt bad because he made a long ass.
It is
It's 2 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole thing now, but just know that Wise Gals, if you know, you know, which actually no one but us does. Actually, it's a very private joke. Got Hunter a cameo. Shout the fuck out to Cameo. I love me some Cameo. I'll be getting some cameos from Kyle Cook, her brother. Her husband.
Oh my God. No, my brother in Christ. Yes, Lord. Oh my God.
So I'll get the full content to you over later. Until then, we got an episode to record. Just know it's so good and insane.